Going on, FA Nation, the MLB DFS Playbook podcast here. We are previewing today's 12-game main slate. Jon Impemba here, solo, breaking down your 12-game main slate here today, and it is a big one. Before we kick it off, though, we're going to talk about some RT Sports. Go to Real Time Fantasy Sports. Check out their Best Ball Fantasy Football Championship and their Fantasy Football Championship leagues going on right now, and new users will sign up and use promo code ALARM23 when they go to rtsports.com/alarm. They'll get that 100% deposit match up to $200. They can use it for their DFS pick'em games. They can use it for their best ball fantasy football and fantasy football championships going on right now. Fantasy football championship, get a shot at a $500,000 grand prize. So go check that out today over at rtsports.com. Breaking down today's DraftKings main slate, like I said here, 12 games on tap, some pretty big matchups here, especially over at the pitching side of things. Pablo Lopez, Corbin Burns, Clayton Kershaw, all up over $10,000. George Kirby, Justin Steele, and Merrill Kelly up over $9,000 here today. When taking a look at the top matchups here on the board, you got to think Pablo Lopez is a spot that many will be looking to go here. Yes, he's coming off of a tough start against Texas, but that we kind of figured was something that could be on the way here after such a strong stretch of starts for Lopez here. His last 4 outings there, he had allowed only just 1 total earned run. Now he's going up against a Cleveland offense. I know they got to him earlier this year. I know they got to Kenta Maeda on Monday's slate here, but law of averages say this Guardians offense is not going to be able to spring together back-to-back good outings. I know they have a low strikeout potential here, but Lopez is a guy, again, that can do enough damage here if he just goes out there and limits what's going to be done against him by the Guardians. So I don't mind Lopez here up at the top 10-8. I also think that Kershaw against Arizona, I know Arizona is a team that is starting to come together here, but Kershaw had that rain-shortened start, 2 innings, 1 earned in that one against Cleveland, but had allowed just 1 earned run in each of the previous 2 starts there. We would have expected the pitch count to kind of continue to rise. I'm not too afraid of the Arizona offense. I know they have a couple of guys that can hit left-handed pitching. But again, overall, Kershaw should be a guy that can shut them down here in this spot. If I had to pick my next one, though, I got to think the chalk will be George Kirby going up against Oakland. $9,700, again, a matchup where recent performances from Kirby, a little bit disappointing, did have the 9 Ks against the White Sox, which was good to see here. But overall, again, a spot where we've seen him start already, 7 innings, 3 earned runs against Oakland earlier this year. Seattle's offense continues to really dominate when it comes to some recent performances here. They're hanging a big number already tonight in their matchup against Oakland. Going down into this mid-tier range is where it gets a little hairy, in my opinion. We've seen Brian Bayo pitch a couple of good starts here. Houston, 7 innings, 1 earned run. New York, 6 innings, 1 earned run. But obviously we saw the damage that the Astros did on Monday night, getting to not just Chris Sale, but Kyle Balacraw as well. A ton of earned runs allowed in that game by the Boston pitching staff. If Bayo can keep it going, we certainly know that there's some potential. We saw them light up JP France in that last outing, 2 innings, 10 earned runs. So maybe the Boston offense can get it done for him there when it comes to that matchup. Dean Kremer's someone that we've been going a lot to. He's coming off a 6 shutout inning performance against Toronto in his last start, and we do like targeting the White Sox. So could see Kremer in this mid-7K range be a fairly popular option as well. Once we go down to some value here, Cole Reagans is kind of an interesting spot. Only $6,000 for a pitcher that has put up 2 double-digit strikeouts, a 9 strikeout game, and an 8 strikeout game in his last 5 starts. He's gone at least 6 innings in 4 of his last 5 outings here. Sure, Pittsburgh has some guys that can hit left-handed pitching. We know Brian Hayes. We know Connor Joe. Obviously, Brian Reynolds in that crew as well. Some guys that can do damage against lefties. But hard to really argue with a $6,000 pitcher that has 8+ strikeout potential here on a slate like this where you're looking to save some money because you want to spend up for the Atlanta Braves bat. So if I kind of had to wrap this one in a bow here, I'm looking at Lopez, Kershaw, Kirby in the top tier here. I like Brian Bayo and Dan Kremer in the mid tier. And then I go down to Cole Reagans for your value pitching play at just $1,000. Then we move on over to the infield. Again, hard not to want to go back to these Atlanta Braves here. Obviously, they've hung a big number on the Colorado Rockies this evening. At last check, they had 9 runs scored. Still where they're hanging right now. They had a 7.5 implied run total in Vegas and easily hit the over. And now they're running up against Lambert here. So you guys got like Matt Olson at $6,900. You have Ozzie Albies at $57. Austin Riley is $63. Orlando Arcia at $47. So can obviously go ahead and stack any one of those Atlanta Braves for your lineups here. Conversely, I do like Bobby Witt per usual. I like Gunnar Henderson a lot here. CJ Abrams is coming off a huge game against Jose Barrios. We know lefties are a split side for Barrios that he has struggled with in the past. So certainly can take a peek there for some top spend ups. Ha-Seong Kim is someone that hits left-handed pitching really well. Again, has Thompson here. And over at first base, as I mentioned, you have Olson. But you can certainly take a peek at Peter Alonso against Andrew Heaney, given Alonso's lefty splits. Could be a good spot here. Tristan Casas against JP France. Again, France got dominated in that last start against Boston. Could see Casas continue some strong play for him there in the mid-tier. When we're looking at the value tier, I know Wilmer Flores is someone that we've been targeting a lot. Gets that lefty matchup against Williamson here. Could be a good spot. Connor Joe, again, if you're not playing Reagans, at $3,400. I loved Ryan O'Hearn on Monday's main slate. He came through for us. He's still $3,300 against Schultens here, so you could go there when it comes to some value first base. When it comes to value second base here, let's see. Eduardo Julian against Gavin Williams could be an interesting spot. Could go McNeil against Heaney, knowing where he hits in the top half of that lineup as a potential play as well. For third base, we played Novelli Marte. Didn't necessarily come through early on in that game. Still some innings left in that one for him to pull it through. But at 3K, we like the stolen base upside. Like that he hit at the top of that lineup as well. You have a good spot here potentially for J.D. Davis against Williamson as well. Just kind of targeting some of these Giants hitters in that spot against Williamson. Royce Lewis against Gavin Williams could be a play. And then Brian Hayes in the mid-tier against Reagans as well. For the shortstop position, looking at some value, Cavallero, someone that we used on a Monday slate, didn't really come through as of yet. Still some innings left in that game, but we know he hits left-handed pitching pretty well, so could see to slot him in your lineups there. Once again, seeing if there's some value that we can maybe target here. I can obviously go with some of the Colorado guys, Tovar in the mid-tier, McMahon in the mid-tier, going up against Charlie Morton. Could be plays for you as well. When it goes over to the outfield position, again, looking more so at some of these matchups up top, we have once again a 7K Ronald Acuna. He paid off that price tag on Monday, so we'd have no problems going back to the well against him there. Julio Rodriguez has been just as on fire as some of the best hitters in baseball right now at 62. Jordan had a big night, and Kyle Tucker. We know Brian Bayo in the past has struggled against lefties. Now, again, he shut them down the other day. We'll see if the offense has been able to adjust to Bayo or if Bayo continues his dominance. But some interesting spots for those two certainly there. Michael Harris gets Lambert, the righty matchup, a good spot for him. Continue to use Marcell Ozuna, had an RBI there on Monday's night slate. So keeping his streak alive. Mullins is 49. Adam Duvall homered again. This man is in fuego right now. 5 homers in the last 7 games for Adam Duvall. He homered in all 3 of the 4 games in Houston there. So could see him get to JP France in this one when it comes to mid-tier plays. Eddie Rosario at 4,800 is a pretty solid spot. I do like Nolan Jones and Yoshida here in the mid-tier as well. Some plays with some nice home run potential there for your lineups. Moving on down into some of this lower 4K range, Teoscar Hernandez continues to be incredibly hot here, 4,300, a notorious lefty masher there. Schneider against Gore could be a spot, continues to hit really well for the Blue Jays. Some additional value plays, I think, as we come down this slate here. Max Kepler against Gavin Williams for sure. We saw the Twins put up some runs here tonight. I do like MJ Melendez. He led off against Oviedo on Monday. Could see him lead off again. Seiya has been hitting the ball really well. Could continue to lock him into some lineups for you. Will Benson against Cobb feels pretty good as well at $3,400 here. So some decent value plays. I do like Walner 32, some power in the bat for him there as well. So I know this was a pretty brief breakdown of today's slate. Again, doing a little bit of a solo show here. So a little less back and forth, a little bit of a quicker analysis here when it comes to the top price hitters and pitchers across the slate. But as usual, we will finish the night here building out a lineup, giving you, again, this first look at this 12-game main slate. There's also obviously a couple of games here with some weather we'll have to pay attention to. James Grande and I will go back live at 5 p.m. Eastern to give you an update on everything that's going on here for this Big 12 gamer. We'll have a full playbook out as well for everybody to lock into. So make sure you get your Fantasy Alarm All-Pro subscription. You can go to fantasyalarm.com/win. Take advantage of the monthly or the annual subscription package. Right now, the annual subscription package is 40% off the month-to-month price. If you want to lock it in now for the upcoming fantasy football season, you're going to basically get the NFL season for the cost of a full year if you go month to month. But if you go annually, you'll get the full year for that price. So a really good deal right now. You can scan the QR code or you can click the link in the description here to get advantage of our All-Pro package, get access to our premium Discord channels, all of our premium content and tools that we have on the site there. So that out of the way, let's go ahead and build a lineup here. We're going to certainly plug Cole Reagans in because I want to get some of that value here. And I might go double spend down with Dan Creamer here against the White Sox. This game was $4,500 a player. So let's see what we can get when it comes to the Braves here. Acuna, Olsen, and I want to go Rosario here. Let's see. Rosario looks pretty good at 48. That gives us 3,500. Let's see what we can do for value. We obviously had the 2K catcher. I don't know if he'll be 2K again on this slate. Let's see what they got on price that as. They don't even have him out there. Obviously, he moved his position. He's now a 3K first baseman. Kind of a big sad there. Can't reuse him at catcher. A 3K first baseman. So let's see, where could we go? Let's see, value catcher. Let's go Connor Wong, $2,800 just to save us some money. He should be in the lineup. If not, Reese McGuire will be in the lineup. You can go either way there with the Boston catchers. Both of them are fairly productive hitters of late. That leaves us $3,700 here for the rest of the positions. Let's see, some good plays in this mid tier. Let's go with, I like Kim at 5K. Let's go Marte at third. $3,400 shortstop. Well, we're going to have a value outfielder we can get to. So let's plug in a value outfielder here. Let's see. Here's the spot that we want to go. Did it give us Cedon? He is 2K. Let's see if Cedon Raphael gets a start. He ended up getting a pinch hitting appearance. But for the sake of value, if he starts against France, I kind of have some interest here. And then gives us a $4,800 shortstop. Gives us a good spot here. Let's go with let's go with Arcia. We'll keep the stack going. So gives us a 4-man Brave stack. Reagans, Creamer, Wong, Olsen, Kim, Marte, Arcia, Acuna, Rosario, and Cedon Rafaela. Again, obviously, if Rafaela isn't in the lineup, we can swap out Kim here, and that would give us $3,550 for two outfielder and an infield spot. Certainly some options for us here if we wanted to go down into that direction. But they called up Cedon. I got to figure they want to give him a look here at some point before they send him down. Weiler Brady will come off the paternity list. And will give him an opportunity probably to go be sent back down. So, again, a final time here. Cole Reagans, Dan Creamer, Connor Wong, Matt Olson, Ha-Seong Kim, Norvelli Marte, Orlando Arcia, Ron Acuna, Eddie Rosario, and Ceddanne Raphael, giving us our 4-man Braves chalk stack with a double spend down of Cole Reagans and Dan Creamer. 12 games on the slate here for Tuesday. Again, get us in Discord. Follow us on Twitter. Follow the playbook as it comes out live and get that all-pro package today. You don't want to miss out. Again, James will be back and we'll be live at 5 o'clock Eastern tonight. Good luck, everybody, at the end of the day. We'll talk to you all later.